Lie, 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 lie. Yai lie lie, yai lie 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 lie, yai lie lie lie, yai lie 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 lie, lie lie lie, lie 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 lie, lie 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 lie. Yai lie 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 lie, yai lie 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 lie, yai lie lie, yai lie 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 lie, yai lie lie, yai lie 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 lie, yai lie lie, yai lie 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 lie, yai lie lie lie, yai lie 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 lie. Boker Tov, good morning. We continue to work our way through the morning service, Kriyat Shema Uvirchoteha, the recitation of Shema and its blessings. And we're focusing on the blessing for Geula, the blessing after the Shema, in which we speak of the experience of the divine in acts of liberation in human history. The end of this blessing is a passage from the biblical Song of the Sea. We've been talking about it. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Who is like you among the gods, Adonai? Who is like you, doing wonders and awesome in holiness? So the commentators, the rabbis, raise an important question, an insightful question around this text, namely, when exactly do we sing it? Pshat, the simple or contextual reading of the biblical text, suggests that we sang after we crossed the sea. That's how it works in the movies, whether it be, Cecil B. DeMille or the Spielberg animated version. We make it through the sea, the waters come back and they engulf the Egyptian army, and we are safe and we are free, and we burst out into this joyous song of freedom. The text tells us Moses leading the men and Miriam leading the women who have these timbrels, these instruments that they brought with them out of Egypt. But some of the commentators look at it differently. They suggest that we sang the song not upon safely arriving on the distant shore and the waters closing up, but actually when we were in the midst of the water. That the song was sung during the crossing itself. I've always liked this reading because in this case it's not so much a victory song as a song to give ourselves courage. There are many examples of people singing to bolster their faith, to give themselves courage. Numerous folks have pointed out that this was a hallmark of the civil rights movement, when people stood and they faced down the police, when they faced down racist police, when they faced down racist crowds, when they had to muster their courage to stand up for their rights. They sang many songs from the Black church. They sang songs of faith. They sang songs of courage. And in some of the readings, the Song of the Sea is exactly this, the first instance we know of this, of people singing themselves across the sea, of people singing themselves to courage and to strength. So this morning, as we prepare to begin Shabbat this evening, I invite you to reflect on times you have sung yourself to strength and to courage. Are there particular songs that you listen to or play or sing when you find yourself in need of courage? Are there other things you do to help yourself find courage that may not be literally singing, but a metaphorical song that you sing to bolster your strength, your power, your belief, and your ability to get the job done. Yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. As usual, we will conclude with the counting of the Omer. This week we are focusing on Hod, on splendor that is also humility. And for this morning we have Chesed Shebachod, on loving kindness in humility. Rabbi Jacobson, examine the love within your humility. Healthy humility is not demoralizing. It brings love and it brings joy, not fear. Humility that lacks love has to be re-examined for its authenticity. Sometimes humility can be confused with low self-esteem, which would cause it to be unloving. Humility brings love because it gives you the ability to rise above yourself and to love another. Arrogance in the guise of love means loving yourself, or even worse, making others a part of and an extension of yourself and your self-love. So this morning, over this day, ask yourself, does my humility cause me to be more loving, to be more giving, to be more expansive? Or does it inhibit and constrain me? May our humility be filled with love, and I wish you all Shabbat Shalom. I hope to see you this evening as our teens will be leading our Kabbalat Shabbat service.